If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
And the B.B. Comer Athletic Booster Club presents the Coach Adam Fossett Coach's Corner segment this morning. And Coach, first half 14-8, and second half not so much.
Not so much, yeah. First half we came out first time all year that we scored first. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't pretty. The first drive wasn't pretty. Flushed our quarterback out a lot, and we do a lot of sprint out stuff anyway. But Devontae was on the run quite a bit, but on the touchdown that we had, DeLeon Welch gets loose, and he's sitting there waiting on the ball, and they hook up and we score. So going up 6-0, I'm pretty excited. I feel like, hey, this is the fast start we've been looking for. This is what we've been talking about. This is
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, man, this is we got potential to kind of stick in this thing, get an early lead, and put Randolph County behind the sticks a little bit, and put them in a situation where they hadn't been, which is trailing. So we do that, and then we trade scores. They come back and score, but before the half, the big the big dagger in the heart was the punt return for a touchdown. So
90 yards, I think.
It was a long one. So. We give up that punt return for a touchdown. We go down, and we're down 8 at halftime. Going at halftime and talk to them and make adjustments and things like that. And when we came out of the half, just during warm-ups and everything else, I could tell we weren't there. So, it's one of those things where, like you said, it's a tale of two halves. It's where we've got to learn how to push through adversity. We've got to learn how to deal with things, and it's just part of those growing pains. You even have to learn how to win. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, and that's what I told them at halftime is, guys, you got to learn how to win. You got to learn how to handle stuff. Bad stuff's going to happen. Every football game you play, bad stuff's going to happen. I tell them this a lot. Bad stuff's going to happen. How do you answer to that determines a lot. So, we just didn't show up. We didn't answer the bell, and we've talked about it. We talked about it Monday and Tuesday a little bit, and now we move on and look ahead.
Randolph County, a very physical football team.
No doubt. Very physical. Up front, their front five on offense were some of the best offensive linemen that I've probably seen play the game in a couple of years. I mean, they fire off the ball. They're fast, and they're low, they're physical on the point of contact, they drive their feet. So being an offensive lineman my entire playing days, that's what you want to see. That's what you want your group to look like. So and it's unfortunate, I think, with everybody says kids are changing and this is changing and that's changing, and everybody gets a trophy mentality and things like that. Offensive line has always been the unsung heroes of football. Their names are never in the paper. They don't have stats. They don't have all the publicity. And I think it's harder now to convince a kid, hey, look, you're an offensive lineman. I need you to block. I need you to be in this battle. And at the end of the night, your running back may or may not give you appreciation for the yards that you get, and if something bad happens, it's probably going to be your fault. It's hard to get that across to kids and say, hey, we need you here. And that makes it tough. And I've talked to other coaches that tell you the same thing. We have a hard time getting guys to buy into being offensive linemen. We've got guys that are 260 pounds that are, Coach, I don't think I'm a lineman. Well, I don't know what you would be.
We want to be stars, man.
Yeah, we want to be in the paper and stuff like that. But and I tell our linemen, guys, I was an offensive lineman from the time I was 7 until I was 22, 23 years old. That's all I did. When I played youth football and peewee football as a kid growing up, I didn't even weigh in. I just went and got my X on my helmet, and because I knew, hey, I'm a lineman, and I own that position, and that's what I did.
Defensively, Randolph County obviously had looked at tape of Raphael Johnson.
Right.
He just never could break that big run.
Yeah. He had a long night. You know, we really wanted to get to the edge. We knew those guys were big in the middle, and we wanted to get to the edge. We wanted to get outside. We worked a bunch set where we brought our guys inside, brought our receivers in as extra blockers so that we could get to the edge. And there was always one or two guys that slipped through that and didn't get it. So we never got a ground game going. Had a couple of real costly turnovers. It was a big play. I know we had a big throw and catch from Devontae to Raphael. Raphael's trying to make something happen and doesn't tuck the ball away, so he fumbles the ball. Devontae has a kick return and fumbles the ball. So you know, we gave them opportunities. We gave them chances to score, and they capitalized on pretty much every drive that they had, except for maybe one or two. And that's what leads you.
And that's a veteran team right there.
Yeah.
Even though they've got some youth, that's a veteran team. They had this number 66 on the defensive front, and he just threw everybody out of the way and went up in the stands and threw some people out of the way.
Yeah, no doubt. He was an animal, and they were just big guys, just big. Very, very well fed young men. You know, 26 was a hoss, 30 was a hoss, and again, you look at a team. Randolph County played in the semifinals last year, so they played Piedmont in the semifinals to see who played in the state championship game, and he got quite a few of those kids back.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunately it's the youth factor still with us and things like that, and I imagine some people get tired of hearing that, but it's very, very true. You look at our interior line, we have an 8th grader and a 9th grader that are starting on our interior defensive line. And the 8th grader against number 66, who was a senior, it's just tough, you know. Now that 8th grader is something special. He's going to be, we'll be talking about him on mornings to come, because he's going to be something special. Kamor Harris is going to be, he's going to be a great ball player for Comer, and will have a chance to possibly play at the next level, because he's very athletic, he's strong, he knows the game. But right now he's taking some lumps.
Yeah,
and
the
he's taking his stride.
competition changes a little bit this week on the road with TC Central that is 0-4 on the year, so homecoming. So you get back in an area where you got a good opportunity to play well and get a W.
Right. Yeah, a lot more even playing field. And it'll be an exciting event. Being in this area prior, I've been to Hiles Cove a couple times, and it's quite an environment to play in. And
they know how to do homecoming.
They do.
Sure.
They'll know how to do homecoming. They'll have a crowd. They'll have. It'll be fun to go there. But a lot more even playing field. They've had. They're in some struggles right now too with just youth and growing pains, and they're playing a lot of young kids as well. And they've got enough athletes to worry you. They've got some spots that we want to pick on and kind of go after early and try to expose some things. But overall, it comes down to preparation, and we have prepared well this week. We've gotten with the break in the heat a little bit. We've gotten to go full pads. We've been very competitive this week. Every practice has had some little competition involved. Whether it be one-on-ones or an offensive and defensive competition or whatever the case may be. So teaching kids to compete and to want to compete is where we're at right now with our guys. And the Monday through Thursday is all the build up to the production that you're going to put on the field Friday, and we want to have a good production on Friday, and I feel like so far through practice we've done very well with that. Yeah.
BB Comer, a young football team, and we say that concretely. It's a very young football team. Hasn't had the taste of winning in its mouth consistently in a number of years. You're in a region where it's playing out that you got Piedmont left, You got Welborn left. You got Pleasant Valley left.
Right.
And Pleasant Valley beat Sachs.
Yep.
So you got a region that's not conducive to a lot of early immediate success, but a lot of people believe this B.B. Comer team is growing, and once a region change comes in, they can make some real noise.
Yeah, no doubt. It's one of those, you talk about building a program, and then you talk about Walter Welborn. Walter Welborn has all 22 starters back this year. So all 22 kids that started last year are starting this year. And he will get 14 of those back next year. So
that's the kind of program you want.
Right. That's building a program, and Jeff's been there a long time, and he's built that program, and that's what. And I talked to him quite a bit about just different aspects of football, but that's what you want. That's where you want to be, and we have that. That's the thing about it is we're 1-3, and we still have kids in the hall that pass me and say, "Coach, I want to know about playing football next year. Can I play? I want to come out next year. I want to do workouts. I want to do this. I'm like, come on out." So we've got those guys lined up for next year that want to come out that aren't out now. We've got our JV programs 3-1 right now. They've done a good job playing and just learning the system. And my young coaches take them on Tuesdays, and they go and play ball. And right now Tuesday night we actually beat TC 30-0 in JV. Mm-hmm. You're talking 7th and 8th graders. That's the future of the program, and that's where we're continuing to build and continuing to get better and things like that. But this region, we're in the right region at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. Give me 4 years and say, hey, we're going to put you in this region. We'll be a lot more seasoned. We'll be a lot more just gelled together, and that program, that foundation of the program will be a lot more solid. But years 1 and 2 in the program, and you throw us in this region, anybody that understands football at all will understand. This is literally the SEC West, mm-hmm. and we've talked about that before. It's we go from TC this Friday to Welborn to Pleasant Valley to Piedmont. We've got a 3-week span where it's a brutal 3-week span.
And those teams take no prisoners either.
No, they don't. And you have different systems.
Mm-hmm.
So Welborn and Piedmont, whereas we've been kind of, we've been planning for spread teams and some power game teams and things like that. Welborn and Pleasant Valley are wing T teams. So, it's completely different offense, completely different setup. So we've got to prepare for that. Well, in preparing and doing preparation, we're trying to run our scout team. We have a scout team offense that's trying to run Welborn stuff or trying to run Pleasant Valley stuff or whatever else. Well, we don't run the wing T, so it's hard for us to hold a card up and say, all right, you're going to go here, you're going to go there, and there's lines all over the card, and for us to get a good look. Mm-hmm. So it's tough. It's taxing on the coaches to figure out the best way to do that and the best way to get a look doing that. But our kids are relentless. Like they're just not going to give up. They're not going to. They knew coming in Monday. We told them Friday, but Monday we're gonna hit. We're gonna get after it. So Monday they were ready for that. Tuesday they were ready for that. Yesterday, by the end of practice, we had kids just being physical in all aspects. We had linemen picking up blitzing linebackers and making noise and guys making open field tackles and everything that you want to see at a practice. You want to be at a practice and go, man, maybe we need to be done because we're hitting too hard.
Let's play today.
Yeah, let's line up and play today. So. But yeah, it's the growing pains of it, the labor pains before the baby type deal, and at the end of the day, we're going to stand by our guys, and I tell them all the time, I'm never going to go out and say in public and say, hey, look, you guys were, we prepared you, we had you ready, but you laid an egg. I'm never going to throw them under the bus, so to speak. inside the locker room, I may tell them that, but
this team overall has been pretty competitive in most games that they played, and an opportunity tomorrow night against TC, and this game can be a measuring stick for the Tigers as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Tomorrow is an opportunity to go on the road again and pick up a win. It's an opportunity to go to a not a hostile environment, but a big active environment, I guess.
It's kind of like how you like high school games to be, the atmosphere around it.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's going to be, our crowd will be there. Like, that's one thing, through good, bad, indifferent, our crowds and our fans have been, they've been amazing. They show up on Friday nights, they're there. We have, in front of our field house now, between our booster club and a couple of our parents, they tailgate every home game now. They've apparently, based on social media, for homecoming, they're having like a little concert and stuff like that out in front of the stadium during homecoming. And our bus pulls up and they do a little tiger walk with our kids into the locker room. And
I did hear on social media that you were going to dance. Is that true?
That's yet to be determined. I'm not much of a dancer, so that all depends on how homecoming turns out.
There you go. But a big game tomorrow night against TC Central. It is TC's homecoming. BB Comer 1-3 on the season. Coach, let's get that win tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at BB Comer, our guest this morning. Brought to you by the BB Comer Athletic Booster Club. More Daybreak in a minute.